everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Let me go ahead and start the timer. We returned in our last episode from Duna and Ike with a whole bunch of science, and enough money to finally consider upgrading our research and development to facility level 3. I know that my typical launch vehicle takes between 100 and 150,000 funds, so upgrading this will leave us with still 500,000 funds. So there it is, the fully upgraded research center. And now we're going to go in and spend this science. We have some cool stuff available. Hypersonic flight. This node would be 1,000 tech. But I've been wanting to get to this node because these, shot cone, the shot cone intake, the Whiplash turbo ramjet engine, and the toroidal aerospike dart liquid fuel engine, plus the engine precooler, all of these parts should give us what we need to build a functioning space plane. We've been needing one of those for some stuff on there. GameNut says hello to everyone watching the channel. He's tuning in live right now. I just barely started recording, so I'm sure that more people will be joining very shortly. 79,000 funds roughly for these parts. And this node is not unlocked yet. We might not have enough science to get it just yet. Oh, good God, that's a lot of parts. Screw that. We don't need those parts. We need... Oh, yes, we do. Heck, yeah. 509,000. I need this. Purchase that. Big S Elevon. Come on. That, and that. Don't need that, really. This one's useful. Okay. We have the wings that I absolutely need. We have the engines that I absolutely need. We have all the compartments that I need. Large and extra large landing gear I don't need. I should be fine with the mediums. The tail fins that I already have that I need should be good. So let's see about building this space plane. So this might be an episode in 2 parts, or another. Just taking a look at something. Oops, taking a look at something really quick. We know we're going to want one of these. We know we're going to want, say, one of these. We know we're going to want one of these, and we know we're going to want Come on, hook up. There you go. 1, 2 of those. Now, aerodynamics. I'm looking for a particular wing. That's not it. Yeah, it took me a little while to find that thing, but the wing. This is a design that I worked on in the sandbox mode, and it turned out really good. It is basically something like this. But with more go. So, fuel tanks. This one. Boop. And on the back of here, engines. We get some thrusty engines. They are going to be the toroidal aerospike dart engines. And the reason we're using the toroidal aerospike is if you look here at the specifications, the ISP is between 290 and 340. 290 at atmospheric levels and 340 in vacuum. That's a spectacular ISP for all modes of operation, essentially. There are, the the Terrier is only slightly better in vacuum. The only way to get better in vacuum is to use a nuke at this point. So the toroidal engine is a really advanced engine. Makes for a very, very capable piece of spaceplane. Now, we're going to load these wet wings. These are wet wings, so they can carry liquid fuel. This is all filled up with rocket fuel. So, what I need now is... We will need a solar panel, one that's retractable. So we'll pop one of those guys right on there. So it has continuous power. Turn on symmetry mode again. We'll need air brakes at some point. I'll figure out where I'm going to put those in a bit. First, I'm going to get these engines on. Engines. Or I should say, structural fuselage. So I'm putting these in the wing, like so. Engines. Whiplash turbojets. Or whiplash turbo ramjets. Pre-coolers, right there. And those shock cone air intakes, just like that. So that's what it looks like full of fuel. Let's see what our center of mass looks like empty. So we know when we're out of fuel, look about like that. I have the wrong fuselages here. I need rocket fuel. That would have been awkward. Okay, once again. Hello, welcome back, Sergio. We're making another attempt at the space plane. How come this... Rocket fuel. R-O-C-K-E-T. Rocket. Okay. Checking our center of mass and center of lift empty. Oh, these have a little bit of liquid fuel in them as well. Interesting. All right. That's the empty. Fill her up. Bloop. Bloop. And there it is, all full. Check empty again. Full. Oh, well. Okay, that's going to make a difference. I'm going to make sure I got all the oxidizer and fuel off this thing. Nothing else there. This is all monoprop. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Now, mind you, I checked all this without any tail fins or anything. GameNut is asking an excellent question here. He's asking, where does the center of mass need to be in order to prevent continuous flips? Well, generally speaking, in order to prevent continuous flips, your center of mass needs to be ahead of. So here's your center of lift. Center of mass needs to be ahead, like I have here. The more ahead of the center of mass, the more ahead of the center of lift your center of mass is, the more likely your plane is to basically lawn dart in when it runs out of power. Now, the way you make your plane controllable is through control surfaces. So we can throw on, that's a winglet, I don't want that. I want something a little bit more robust. Standard canard could do, the tail fin will work. So this tail fin over here, although it seems to shift the center of lift back an awful lot, it doesn't actually shift the center of lift very much at all. And the reason for that is that it's a control surface. It's not there to provide lift. It's there to provide control authority. So, a couple of tail fins there, maximum control authority. Now all we need is these fancy dancy schmancy new these things that we got, which are perfect. Rotate them around, like so. And now we set things up. This is pitch, this is yaw, and this is roll. Now, last time I tried to fly this down from orbit, this similar ship down from orbit, it did blow up, but that was because it came in too steep and too fast. Those of you that are on the live stream, I need a name for this thing. We're going to be packing on a little bit more weight, hopefully, not very much, but we're going to be throwing on air brakes top and bottom. And we will make sure to throw those in an action group. Okay, what else do we need? We need landing gear, obviously. How about these ones? Nope. Medium landing gears. One on front. Boop. So these landing gear should be pretty close to the center of mass. About like that, I think. And hopefully our control authority is enough to overcome. And no, wrong thing. Rotate those. Yes. Yes, brilliant. So you guys think it could be the Sparrow? Space plane for LKO operations. Command and control. So we've got a docking port, but no way to actually control this thing while we're flying it around. So we're going to do some stuff. Stick a pair of those right out there. That gives us forward thrust, backward thrust, and rotational thrust. Now that's about that far off the center of gravity. It can actually... So that gives us, in space, it gives us yaw. Yaw. This way. It gives us pitch. It does not give us tilt. So for tilt, put a thruster there. Put 2 thrusters there. And rotate them. So that they are pointing... Oh, they're so close to directly up, it doesn't matter. Oh, hang on. So they're pointing directly up. So these ones and these ones around the center of mass, more or less. Hang on, I can do this better. About like that. Actually, can't block that. That's a crew hatch, I think. So there, and then same thing underneath. And get right up here. Okay, so that allows us to then pitch, yaw, roll, go up and down, forward and back. We do not yet have any left and right translation available. In order to accomplish that, we will stick a pair of them right here. Let's see if I can't make them sort of pop out a little more. And then rotate it. Okay. And then about the same distance from the center of mass, we need another set right here. Right there. Just like that. Okay, that gives us all the control surfaces we need to maneuver this thing about. Well, nothing to it. Jebediah Kerbin, our test pilot. Let's give this thing a test flight. We're just going to do a quick fly around. Our landing gear has decided it didn't want to face the right direction anymore. I don't know what that's all about. Rotate, you landing gear. Now stay rotated. Save that. Oh yeah, action groups. We don't need we don't need much in the way of action groups. We just need to make sure things are staged correctly. Those landing gear. We have a control for RCS. We'll need something for brakes. Brakes toggles the air brakes. Let's see what this thing looks like fully deployed. Okay, that one needs to come off in construction. And the reason it needs to come off is it will impact the ground. So let us do... this. Try that again. I think actually that'll be okay. All right. Fuel to pull off orbit this time or not, or if we'll need a little bit more. What happened? Oh. So that was a good test one. I mean, we're looking pretty good there. Utility, once again. Where did it go? The 1x6 photovoltaic. Right there. Fuel tanks. I wish I could tell certain fuel tanks to only work with a particular engine. But, oh well. Hang on. That's not, those are not. These weren't mirrored. There. Okay. We seem to need just a smidge more rocket fuel. What if we can get away with, say, this much rocket fuel? Yep, Game Nut had it right. No fuel lines. This is the Sparrow, preparing for departure. Releasing brakes. Engines on. Taxiing to the runway. Entering the runway. Taxiing to position. Turning to ascent attitude. Rudder's good. Aileron's good. Ready engine spool up. Full throttle. Rotate, and we're airborne. Gear up. Climbing to 10,000 meters. (9,000 meters), 9,500. Leveling off at 10,000 meters. Speed now 500 meters per second. Speed now 1,000 meters per second. Still climbing. 15 kilometers and pitch up. Rocket engage. Flame out. 35 kilometers, going orbital, full prograde. Main engine cut off. Full throttle. Circularization complete. Preparing to burn for encounter. Encounter established. We are at the encounter, matching velocity, and preparing our approach. Approaching the station. Finalizing alignment. Roger, prepare to dock. And we have capture and hard dock. preparing for deorbit procedure, undocking. Turning retrograde, ready to thrust. And full throttle. The periapsis is 40 kilometers just over the Kerbal Space Center. Adjusting attitude for re-entry. And we're hitting Atmo now, deploying air brakes. Applying maximum pitch. Re-entering interface. Systems are nominal. Passing through maximum heat. Re-entry interface complete, resuming normal flight. And gear down. Lining up with runway for final approach. And flare for a soft touchdown. Touchdown, full brakes. Ooh, 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 ooh! Look at the space plane go! You know what I love about these space planes? 100% recovery rates.